I think I'm live. Okay, I think I am live. You guys, I'm trying to check on my phone, but I can't tell. So, welcome. Hi you guys. I am Matrell on a mission. And as you may know, I am on a mission to live my best life here in the motherland, and I invite you guys to take that journey along with me. So today I am doing a live. It's my first live since last year sometime. And yeah, I got to kind of get used to doing those again. So welcome. If you are here, please do me a favor and say hello in the chat to let me know. I would really appreciate that. Uh-oh, I just got the notification. So maybe, let me see. Lord. Okay, so anyhow, the purpose of today's live is to answer a lot of questions that I have been getting about visiting Egypt. Okay, so there's like 5 things that I'm going to cover, and hopefully I will answer your questions. If I'm speaking about something and you want more detail or anything like that, feel free to put it in the chat, and I will be happy to, answer the questions. Okay, um, to get started, I'm going to start with my first one. Okay, the number one question people ask about visiting Egypt is, do you have to be vaccinated, right? Well, as of February 1st, and according to the IATA travel website, you do not have to be vaccinated to come to Egypt. But if you are vaccinated, it's okay because all you have to do is show your vaccine card. But you have to be sure that your vaccine card has the QCR code on it. And if it does not have a QCR code, then you have to get prior approval through the Egyptian embassy near you, and they'll certify it. And then you could use your vaccine card when you come in. Otherwise, you just have to get either a PCR test or the antigen test, a rapid antigen test. And that has to be done 72 hours prior to arriving in Egypt. Okay, so again, no vaccine is required, but you do have to get tested. So you still need to get a PCR test or the rapid antigen test within 72 hours. Okay. All right. And then people also want to know, are masks mandatory? Masks are, people don't wear the mask. I don't know if there's a law that says that masks are mandatory anywhere. I think that when they are mandatory, it'll say so on the buildings. Like if you go into like a government building, for instance, if you're going to get your visa renewed or something like that, the government buildings will say that you need to be vaccinated, actually. And, some people here are still wearing masks when there's like a public place that's a lot of people. But most of the people wearing masks here are foreigners, people who come here from places that are, where they've just survived a huge inundation of COVID, so to speak. They come here and they bring their mask and wear them, and they're usually the ones that have them on. You don't really see a lot of locals wearing masks. But like I said, in some government places, you are required to be vaccinated, and it will say so on the buildings. All right. Question number 2. I hear this all the time. People want to know, is Egypt safe? Okay, so let's talk about that. The majority of the people that ask me that question are people from the States. And I know it's mainly because of how we were groomed to think of Egypt growing up. For the most part, people associate Egypt with, you know, acts of violence and things that occurred in the Middle East. And for some reason, they can't kind of separate the two. Egypt is here in Africa, it's its own place. Is it safe? Absolutely, it's safe. I'm comfortable walking the streets. I feel comfortable going into any location. I've just never had any issues in terms of safety here. I actually have a good example to talk about tonight. And this is a true story, you guys. So not only is Egypt safe, the people here are really trustworthy. And I say that because someone came here and they were traveling with a large sum of money, right? And they actually had the money in like two different envelopes. So while they were at the visa counter to get their visa, they left an envelope with money in it, like $900, right? And they didn't realize they left it there. And they went on to their destination and, and were gone from the airport for a day or so before they realized that that money was missing. And once the person found out that they had forgot the money and they were trying to trace their steps back, they weren't even really sure where they left it, right? But kind of assumed that they may have left it somewhere at the airport. So what happened next was, I'm thinking, well, if you left the money there, then it's probably still there. And I don't know where you can go anywhere and expect that money to still be there. But nevertheless, we wanted to try. Um, so Mahmoud made a call to one Amir in Cairo, and Amir is the person that we use to do our meet and greets. He'll generally meet our guests, help them through visa process if necessary, and for the most part, it's not necessary because we provide the visas for our guests on the tours. But in the event that someone comes without a visa, he would be able to help them through that process, help get them through customs and on out into the baggage claim area, right? And into their vehicle. So he's just somebody that's been working with the company for a long time and he's very trusted. And he goes above and beyond to make sure that our guests are satisfied. So a call was placed to him. This man gets out of bed, right? Catches a taxi to the airport, right? Goes through everything he had to go through to get into the airport. Because just imagine, it's not really easy just to walk into the airport, let alone to get up to where the visas are without having a ticket, right? So he's working his connections, doing all the things that he has to do, going above and beyond to go try to locate this money, right? Okay, so he gets up there and he finds out that they had it, right? So they do have the money, but they wouldn't release it to him because, they needed the owner to come get the money. So he, lets us know that the money was found. We let the person know and they were all good. It was all a good situation. And I guess the point that I'm trying to make here, back to the question of, is Egypt safe? It's absolutely safe. And not only is it safe, the people are trustworthy because this person got their money back. And the thing is that it went back through, it was a lot of red tape involved to get it back, but it got done. And even when the money got transferred to the bank where this person was, they went to go pick it up and the bank was like, we don't have your money. We don't know what you're talking about, right? And so that person, of course, calls Mahmoud. Mahmoud gets on the phone with the bank and tells the bank what they need to do to get that person their money, to find it. And of course they did. The person got the money. Great. Okay, so Amir did this for us to help this person get their money. If that happened to you, if somebody recovered $900 for you, would you tip them? Would you say thank you? Or do you feel like you were just entitled to get that money? It's the craziest thing ever. So anyway, the person never tipped him or anything like that. So my company, I'm going to give him money for doing that for us, because if someone else comes and something happens like that, we need to be able to have the people that work with us, understand how valued they are so that they'll continue to go above and beyond and do those things for us, and not even just that situation. There was another situation that happened months ago where people came to visit. One of them left their suitcase. They were getting a SIM card, forgot one of their suitcases at the counter where the SIM card was. And this is the middle of the night after they had got, to their place. They weren't, they had already left the airport and left the bag there. Again, Mahmoud does. He is the plug after all, right? gets back to the airport, makes connections, and does all those things, and recovered the suitcase. And once again, there was like a lack of appreciation. So for me, when people say to me, "Is Egypt safe?" Not only is Egypt safe, the people are trustworthy and they have a lot more manners than some people coming from the West. It's like, there's this entitlement mentality, like, I lost my luggage, it better be there. No, any other city in the country, in the US, if you lost your luggage, if you left your luggage at the phone counter, you lost your luggage, right? If you left a pack of $900 unmarked, fresh new bills on a counter at the Visa counter, the person at the Visa counter is going to say, "Thank you very much, Merry Christmas," right? You're not getting that money back. But in Egypt, you do. So yeah, it's definitely safe here. Okay. I see some people here. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Reborn. Welcome to the chat. Hey, Eddie. Thank you for joining the live here. Let me see what is Reborn saying here. Things aren't. I don't know who the Reborn person is, but they got a lot to say, and we'll address that later. Hey, Mahmood, welcome to the chat. All right, so anyway, so that was my second point. But I guess the point is this, you guys, when you come here, you can expect people to treat you well. I've been treated well almost 2 years now, right? And then everybody else that I know that's here, and even my guests that come here, they all feel the same way. So we haven't had a bad experience here yet. Okay. So you can feel confident knowing that when you come, you're going to have a good time, you're going to be treated well, and that in the event that something happens, you're probably going to be able to recover. Like if you lose something, you're probably going to be able to recover it, because right now I'm shooting 2 for 2. We're in terms of the airport as far as that goes. There's been other situations where people have left things like cell phones in cars, or a wallet here or there, and every time it's all been recovered. So that speaks volumes about the people here. And I don't take that lightly. I don't take that for granted, because I just don't know many other places in the world where you can go and get that type of experience. All right, so wait a minute. Eddie had a question. He said, "Do you have to leave Egypt every 12 months to renew your visa?" I haven't. I don't know. I don't know if that's a law, Eddie. I have, as far as I know, once you get your residency card, that you can get renewed as your lease gets renewed. But yeah, so I don't think that you do, but that is something I will find out for you. And Mahmoud, if you know and you're on here, if you can say something in the chat, that would be great. All right, point number 3. People always ask me, "Matrell, is it better to come there by myself? Should I come in a group? What is the best way to travel to Egypt?" Well, it really depends on personal preference and the type of experience that you want to have, right? So, there are a lot of people who just don't want to schedule. They may come here for a longer period of time. For instance, I had a gentleman that was here. He came for a couple of weeks because he was considering moving here. So he really wanted to get the layout of the land, get to know the people and things like that. So for him, a solo trip was perfect. And then while he was here, he took advantage of being able to go visit all the attractions. And, he had my company help him do that. And, which I really appreciate him for. And so he had a really great experience here, but, he was here for that particular reason. Now, people who are coming, just for the trip to see all the sites and you're city hopping, I think a small group would be great for that, because, it's just better. You have people to eat with, right? You have people to talk to while you're visiting these attractions, someone to help take pictures, right? When you go out to party, you got somebody to party with that speak your language. Those types of things are fun in groups, right? And also, it's just really great that at the end of the day to be able to sit down, kind of reflect, and and talk about the experiences that you guys had all day together as a group. So I enjoy small groups. That's my preferred way to travel, is in a small group. I'd rather do that than just travel alone, you know. And a small group could be 1 or 2 people for me. All right, so let's see. Okay, good. Hey, Shay, welcome. Welcome to the live. I appreciate both of you guys being here. Okay, and in terms of benefits of traveling either way, if you're solo, then you can decide on your own accommodations, right? So for you, if you're coming here for, let's just say, a quick trip, you want to do a 6-day tour, and you want to do 3 cities, you can kind of mix up your accommodations when you're solo, because you have complete autonomy over the whole thing. So you might want to stay in an apartment in one city, you might want to stay in a hotel in another city, and in a resort in a third city, right? And so you have the latitude to do those things when you're traveling by yourself, versus if you're in a group tour type situation, then you have to deal with whatever the itinerary says. But at least for my company and me, what we do is we do custom tours. So if you're in a group and you want to mix it up, then just do a custom tour. If you want to do a standard group tour, then you have to stay in the places that are already scheduled with that particular tour. And those group tours tend to come with a lower price point, because we work with a lot of different companies to do special pricing, get special rates, so that we can offer a great savings to our guests. But again, for me, if I have to travel, again, I would prefer to travel in a small group, because I want people with me. It's not fun dining alone. And even the people that come alone, at least when you do come, you have me. So I go eat with you, do things together. So it's still like you have, you have a friend here in Egypt with me. So you're not really totally alone. You're just traveling alone, but we're doing things together. And I think that that's just more fun, in my opinion. All right. And then, so point number 4, people always ask this question. They're like, Matrell, what is a Nile cruise? Am I going to get seasick? Okay, so the Nile cruise is just that. On the Nile River, we have these huge boats. They're like floating hotels, right? And typically, when people take a Nile cruise, they're basically using the boat as a hotel. And the boats run from Luxor to Aswan, and Aswan back to Luxor, and they're set schedules. And so there's like a 3-day cruise, or 3-night, 4-day cruise, and then a 5-night cruise. And they have those running most times of the year. And I think that Nile cruises can be really cool and fun, because, like I said, it is a hotel. You keep all your stuff there, but you get to hop off, go see the sights, and then go back to the boats. In terms of being seasick, it's the Nile. It's not really a rough river all the time, right? The roughest waters that I've experienced are closer to Aswan. So, but still, the boats are huge, so it's just really slight rocking. It's nothing like if you were on like a Princess cruise, you were out in the Atlantic Ocean getting tossed around. It's not like that. So I don't think you'd have to really worry about being seasick, but I do think it is a great way to travel from Aswan to Luxor, and from Luxor to Aswan too, if you want to have, the accommodations on the boat, as well as the transport getting back and forth to there. And a Nile cruise is something that I do offer, and we have really great rates, better than all the advertised rates that you're going to find. So if you guys are contemplating a Nile cruise, hit me up first. Let me at least give you a quote, so that you can see that, I'm going to make sure that you're on the best boats that have the best food, and still set you up with our Egyptologists and our other tour guides, so that you would have great access to all of the attractions when you pull into the different cities along the way. All right. Hey, happy companion, welcome. Welcome to the chat. All right, you guys. Okay, so now I'm on my last major question. People always ask me, Matrell, what is the best way to travel in Egypt? Should I rent a car? Should I go by train? Should I just fly? Well, it depends. It depends on what you're doing and where you're going, right? So most people, everyone, Yeah, when everyone flies in here, they're flying into Cairo, right? Because that is the hub. And then from Cairo, you can fly everywhere, right? Um, but once you get to Luxor, that's when things kind of change up. Because that flight, because the drive from Cairo to Luxor is about 10 hours, right? But it's only a 1 hour flight. So that's the best way to get to Luxor is by air. Okay, and Egypt Air is pretty seamless. It's a really smooth process. The planes are clean. I like it. I love Egypt Air actually very much, and I will be using them when I fly back to the States too, because it's just an easier process. But once you're in Luxor, then you have different options. So there's different ways to get to Hurghada, different ways to get to Aswan, right? So as you guys may have seen in my video that I did maybe last week, I rode the train from Luxor to Aswan. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it personally. Now other people may. There's certain types of trains, there's the local train, they call it, and then there's like the air conditioned trains, and then they have the sleeper trains. And I think they have a sleeper train that goes from Cairo to here, but that's overnight. And I'm like, I just don't want to be on the train at night and going through the desert. And I really just want to see the sights along the way. So I like to travel during the day personally. But like I said, that train ride, I did a train ride. It was on the local train, no air conditioning. And, it's not even supposed to be any smoking on the train. But I swear the car that I was in, that was the smoking car on the train. I don't want to go through that. So I prefer private transportation. And the reason why is because I love my music. I love the ability to go to the restroom if I have to go. I love being comfortable and I like having my stuff with me. So I use personal vehicles to go. Now I have ridden the bus before. I rode the bus from Luxor to Hurghada and it wasn't that bad. Actually, the buses were actually pretty decent. But again, you just kind of lose the convenience of, it's a boring ride. You just, you want to have your music and kind of stretch your legs out and relax. The seats were okay, but it's not as comfortable as it is if you're riding in a car. So for me personally, going between Luxor and Aswan, I'm driving. Going between Luxor and Hurghada, I'm driving. And then Cairo to Luxor, I'm flying. But those are my personal preferences. And again, it also just depends on what your budget is too. So, and like I said in my other video, for me, comfort is priceless. It just is. All right, let me see what y'all talking about because I do see some conversations happening. All right, thank you. Diva L, what they said is very true. Not many places with that kind of honesty. Right. That's what I'm saying. So you're talking about the part with the whole money situation. Yeah. Leave $900 in a bank envelope on the counter anywhere and see how long that's going to last. I was just shocked. I was surprised. I was like, well, if they recover the envelope, maybe half the money's going to be there. Somebody going to tip themselves, but they didn't. All the money. That's just amazing to me. It just makes me feel really good about this country and the people and just being here. Just kind of, that's that extra piece of safety that I'm talking about. Feeling safe knowing if I'm walking down the street and I accidentally drop my purse, somebody gonna grab that purse and come chase me down and give it to me. Because that's happened with other things. So yeah, I do appreciate that about Egypt very much. All right, so let me go up and kind of look and see if there's any questions. So basically, guys, that's pretty much the 5 points that I was trying to make. No, you don't need a vaccine to come here, right? But if you do have it, that's a plus. Just make sure that your card is certified or has the QCR. Otherwise, take the PCR test or the rapid antigen, right? Y'all know I can't see. 2, is Egypt safe? Yes, yes, and yes. 3, solo or group, personal preference, depending on what you're coming here for, right? And best way to travel. And then Nile cruises. We talked about Nile cruises. I kind of explained those. Anybody else got any questions about those? Let me know. If you want to get a quote for a Nile cruise or anything like that, go ahead and go to easyegypttours.com. Click on custom quotes, and I'll get you a good price on a Nile cruise. But that is pretty much all that I have for today, you guys. I was just wanted to cover things, the top 5 questions that people ask me that have booked trips to Egypt that want to know before they get here. And let me make sure I got any answers. Any other questions? Let's see. And you guys, if you're in the chat, if you don't mind, if you would hit that like button, I would appreciate it. I hope you have enjoyed the information that I have put out today. If you think it's useful to someone else, please go ahead and share it out. Oh, I never even made a video about the fact that y'all, I am monetized now. Woo, woo. I'm excited about that. And as you may know, so if there are super chats and stickers available. If you want to utilize any of those to support the channel, I would appreciate it. But otherwise, I don't have anything else to say. Does anyone have any questions about visiting Egypt? So for my next live, you guys, I'm going to be talking about relocating to Egypt and just talk about the top 5 things that I think you need to know if you're actually going to move here. And that'll be next Wednesday. So my Wednesday night lives are going to be at 9 p.m. Egypt time, 9 p.m. Egypt time. So I hope to see you guys on the next one. All right. Thank you guys for coming by. Enjoy the rest of your day.